Okay, with that, I want to welcome you again. My name is Nancy Larson. I'm the director with Kansas State University Pollution Prevention Institute. And you should all be seeing the website right now. Um, and if you aren't, please someone let me know and I'll stop sharing and sharing the right thing. But in today's tour, we're going to go through some of the basic features of our website and highlight a few key resources and mention anything new. I want to pause for just a minute periodically and just now to recognize my coworkers who are on the training today and who are assisting. Many of you know Abby Kraus. She is our behind the scenes person. And today, and she's letting people in. She also is helping us with some polls. She reviews many of the different content that we have, and she is the one who helps us look good. So when you see some of the new colors and different things on our website, it is because Abby has gone through and just kind of given things a refresh or made sure that we're looking good. I want to also introduce you to Lena Deaker. She is on today. And Lena, many of you know Lena from different conferences and being on the technical subcommittee. But Lena is in training to work and take over the leadership role that I've been doing the last 10 years. And she'll be taking that over when I retire in January. So I will pause periodically, and I've asked Lena and Abby to just interrupt me if I get going, if I didn't explain something, or they want to add something. So there's lots of different elements, but we really wanted to reach out to people who are new, and I hope folks who are on are new and are able to learn something today. But with that, let's get started with a poll. So Abby, if you can, please launch poll number 1. So everyone should be seeing the poll. And if you would, just fill that out. There we go. Good, it's working. And notice that there's 3 questions there. And on the right-hand side, there's a scroll bar. So just scroll all the way down so that you can see that 3rd question. And these go really, really quick, but they give us an idea of who's in the audience today. That helps us tailor our messages to you as well. Okay, Abby, I think that we've got all the information we need. If you want to end the poll and show it, share the results. Great. So it looks like we've got the majority of folks are new to SBEAP, being an SBEAP or an SBO. And so that's how we've geared this for sure. Looking at how you rate your familiarity, many people are moderately familiar with it. That's really, really good. And then are you on one or more subcommittees? Because being on those subcommittees really helps you get connected with all the different people around the United States who do the similar work to you. And so I'm really glad to see that about 60% of our audience is on one or more subcommittees. We'll be just talking briefly about that. So I want to I'll start out today with just a little bit of history, and many of you know this history already. But after being without a website for several years in mid 2015, K-State applied for and received a grant from EPA to develop this web resource. And that was a 5-year grant. We did that in connection with putting together a website subcommittee who helped us form the various elements of the pages that you're going to see today. And then in 2020, 5 years later, we refreshed the website, actually totally redid it, and it runs on a server called Drupal 9. We might be on Drupal 10, but way back in 2015, we started on Drupal 7. So we're fortunate at the College of Engineering at K-State. We have some very good servers, dedicated servers, and try to keep state-of-the-art both servers, security, and the way that we operate this website for EPA, because EPA is the one who funds this. Our goal is to promote and increase your knowledge as an SBEAP or a 507 program, and we are to promote communication, collaboration, as well as your capacity. So the website you see today was formally launched in April of 2021. Again, thanks to our website committee. We think this version is a big improvement over what was launched in 2015. And certainly about next year at this time, as we move forward and we go through another 5-year grant period, whether that's K-State, because this is a competitive grant, whether K-State wins that award again or another state does, about this time next year, you will see a new improved, or you can be involved in helping to develop a new improved website again. Let's see, our website subcommittee, just to give you a little history on the website subcommittee, when we're developing the website or we've got something big going on for the website, we might meet frequently. Otherwise, we meet irregularly and really only meet 2 to 3 times a year, because that's all that is really needed during times, most of the years of the grant. And in fact, we have a meeting following this tour. So if you are interested in either listening in or joining our subcommittee meeting, please feel free to stay on. We would love to have fresh eyes, input, or even just people listening into that. So you'll hear right after this is done, you'll hear us transition to that meeting. All right, so we're starting with the home page, and now I'm going to just kind of navigate through some of our pages that I think would be of most interest. And each year I try to change this up a little bit, but certainly for newcomers, there's some common things that are really important to you or places to start. You will find that we rotate and change these banners. I say we, but Abby is the one who really does the heavy lifting on this. If we've got some new resources, we really try to feature them here, or when we've got a new training, that type of thing. And then you can see these are the horizontal menus, our main pages that we have here. And as you look at each one, they've got different drop downs to them. And staying on this page, we have a contact us button here. So whether you're a small business or you're an SBEAP and you've got a question, a lot of people just contact us directly. They know me, they know Abby, they may know someone else. You're welcome to do that, but we would prefer you use info@nationalsbeap.org. That goes to both Abby and I, and then in the future, it will go to Lena. We get calls to our hotline, mostly from small businesses. So our small businesses will come to this page, they'll need some help, and they'll call us through the hotline. Through our hotline that we get in Kansas, depending on what that question is, we'll either answer that question, but more than likely, we will connect them with you, the state resource who can help them, or we'll at least copy you. So if they need more state-specific information, they can know to reach out to you. All righty. So as we scroll down, let's say your boss comes to you and says, hey, you know, I heard about this 507 program. This is how you're funded, but I don't really understand it. Or maybe you, as a new person, you don't really understand the 507 program. That is part of the 1990 Clean Air Act amendments. That's what required these SBEAPs to be established. So you want to learn a little bit more about that and be linked directly to the regulation, you can go there. As you scroll down, we have these quick links that kind of pop up as you go. These are our featured industry sectors. I won't spend too much time on that today, but let's say you need some specific air quality, water quality, waste, or case studies. How about foreign language publications? These are simply just shortcuts to what are drop downs from the horizontal menu. Um, uh, and so you can just reach them in a couple of different ways, but we know those are the things that people may want a shortcut to. So, as we go to like the small business page, one of the things that I want to point out to you, um, well, first I'll back up and just say one thing. Our primary audience are small business environmental assistance people, or SBOs, EPA. That's our primary audience, but we also reach out to small businesses. We hope that small businesses find us, and so we have these resources here. But what I'm speaking to today mostly is to serve you, the 507 programs, the SBEAPs or the SBOs. But what we've got new here since the last time we did a tour is this page on environmental justice. This is something we worked with EPA and the Environmental Justice Subcommittee on to develop a resource that's specific to environmental justice off the small business page, and we developed this flyer. So this flyer is based on the federal definition of environmental justice, and it also is based on the recent enforcement and compliance initiative to do more inspections each of the next 4 to 5 years in environmental justice areas. I won't go into the details on this, but I will tell you this page will provide you with a lot of details, a lot of different resources related to compliance and enforcement. And we did a whole webinar on this with one of the SBA partners, Small Business Administration partners, and that is on our YouTube site, as well, I believe, on our environmental justice site. So while we have some of these other resources under small business link here, I won't spend time on those now, but you can research those. Okay, just pausing briefly to see if there's any questions or comments from my colleagues or anyone. All right. So feel free to chat or raise your hand on the lower menu. When you hover your mouse over the lower horizontal frame, you will find the chat feature, you'll find the participants, and you'll find a way to raise your hand there if you're not familiar with it. Okay, the state contacts page is the next one we'll just briefly hit on, and I will ask you if you don't already have this website opened on your second screen and you have a second screen available, I recommend you go to nationalsbeap.org and kind of follow along, maybe play along with some of these as I go through these. But right now, what I'd love for people to do is hit their state button, open it up, and take a look and say, is this the right information? So if Dan is on from Ohio, and he's not, but he knows this website very well and has helped develop many features and helped us in many ways. But we would want Dan or Christina to take a look and make sure that we have the top 2 contacts for the state listed, and make sure that your website, this is the right website. So we've recently gone through and done a whole lot of updates because I did ask people in March to do this too, and we got a lot of really great response. But please know this is one of the most popular pages. If your clients are looking for you, if some of your colleagues across the country are looking for you, they come to this state. So if there's something not right about the contact information, or you've got new people you want listed, please email us at info@nationalsbeep.org, and we will get it changed and made right for you. So as you take a look also, you'll see you could go to some EPA contact information, a little bit more about what is SBEAP. And then as you look at each page, has got a left side frame menu. And we've got internal resources here, and we've got external resources. And so when you have time or you're looking at this, these are some shortcuts to get to some of the very related external resources. All right, so hopefully everyone has had time to navigate and check out their state and make sure we've got the right two resources listed, phone numbers, and the links. If not, again, info@nationalsbeep.org. Next, let's go to the SBEAP resource page. This is where the rubber meets the road. It is for folks who are working as small business environmental assistance providers or ombudspersons. And one of the things there's a couple things I'm going to point out here that I think can really help you and are very important to look at when you have a minute. Let's say you've got to put an article in a newsletter, every month or every 3 months, and you're looking for topics. We keep a record. This has got a 5, maybe even more year record of all the different Ask SBEAP articles that we have written. They're in a question and answer form. We write them for the Asbestos and Small Business Ombudsperson's Office and their newsletter that goes out. And all of those are there. They are there for you just to cut and paste if you want to. Certainly double check if it's an older article and make sure it's pertinent for your state, but those are resources for you to use. Anything that is a technical question and answer that goes out mostly on Maine, because that's where they should go out. So those questions about how do you handle the 6H petition form in your state, let's say, and we get a bunch of answers. We have cataloged those for you here, and you can see these documents have all been updated pretty recently. We've got agency partner lists, so ideas. Let's say you're new to your program and maybe you don't have a lot of colleagues to talk with, and you're like, who should I meet? What other agencies might be doing education to small businesses where I could partner with them, make sure they know about my program, I know about theirs, so we can refer back and forth. And this is a full list of things there. We've got some guidance for submitting articles. We have a Twitter or X account. If you're wanting to prepare some tweets, there's some guidance there for that. And then several other things related to grant funding. How do you find external funds? Where might you search for that? And some historic SBEAP resources that date back to the late 1990s. I'll just point out that every year we do an annual report. This is the report from last year. We actually just published this. We gather the data and we gather it from you as states. We'll start gathering that in about December or January, and we'll be putting a report together in about April, May, publishing it in June. This report is for you to use to help promote your program or what SBEAPs do. We typically do some training on this as well, just to help people know what kinds of things we're looking for. So how do you know how to get these numbers together and have metrics? Here's some resources on different programs and states and how they gather both outcomes and outputs. And if you're not familiar with those terms, definitely take time to look at the latest measuring SBEAP client impacts resources. And then as newcomers, hopefully you all have come to this page because this is for you. We have a short video that introduces the history of the 507 program and how we got to this point and the various kinds of resources that are important to newcomers. So don't be shy. We call you newcomers, but we welcome you, and we do some special and fun things for you too when we have our annual training. Please reach out if you are a newcomer and you don't have a lot of resources. Any of us are happy to help you. So looking at environmental compliance, I kind of touched on this. So we have quick links. Some of the things that I want to point out to you today we have our foreign language publications, which we made a big push on this in probably 2022 and 23, but we haven't had a lot of resources to add to this beyond what we've got here. We have to vet resources, make sure that they're going to be applicable to more of a general audience. So, but if you have something that you've done recently, we would love for you to let us know that. We would love to put it on this page if it is pertinent and applicable. I want to share with you something else we update on a regular basis, and that is air quality tools by state. So many of you, we might have reached out and said, hey, we're finding these broken links, and can you give us some other, better links, or have you changed your tools? This has just been updated probably in June, and it is a big lift to do this each year. But you can see by state, we have listed the different tools. And this is so, let's say you don't have a metal fab PTE calculator, and you want to know who does have one because you might need to take it and change it a little bit for your state, but you don't want to reinvent the wheel. That's what this is all about. So we have, as I mentioned, recently updated this, and you could see states like Iowa, they have just a ton of them. In Kansas, we have, we've got almost a dozen, but there's many, many states who have several. Look at all the ones that Minnesota has. So don't reinvent the wheel. Don't start from scratch. Figure out if maybe using something that someone else has already created will work for you. As we go to committees, you can see we have a national steering committee that is made up of representatives from your region. And we have our chair is Chris Lynch, and our vice chair is Lucy Cross. Then each region has at least one rep. We would love to have the second rep for these, but you can see we're missing the second rep in some of our regions. But know what region of EPA you are in, know who your rep is. Your reps should be conducting regular meetings of the states and making sure that they're communicating what's going on in the NSC. They're communicating it back to the individual states and having those discussions. Region 5 meets monthly. In Region 7, we meet 2 to 3 times a year. But many regions might meet every other month just to touch base. So this is the National Steering Committee. It is also made up of any of the chairs or co-chairs of the subcommittees. This is the only closed committee because you do need to have a leadership role to be on this committee. This is where the decisions are made on many different things, but all these other committees are open. Just today, I had a request for someone to join the education subcommittee. So we have recently gotten new chairs, And we've got some new meetings and trainings that Sarah and Gina, the two chairs, are planning to conduct. We have Crystal is our new committee chair for promotion, and then many of you attend the technical meetings. Technical subcommittee each month has some featured type of training, and wow, these are really great. You can see it a little slow loading the webinars, but they're all here. News and events is where you're going to find short little news spurts that come across or events that we think you might be interested in. You're going to find a calendar. We do our best to keep it up to date, but quite honestly, sometimes that lags a little bit. Let us know if we're missing something or you want something on the calendar. And then that's where you're also going to find annual training. Right now, we hosted the annual training in Tennessee in March, and that is what is up here. We don't have any specific plans for annual training in 2025, but NSC is speaking with a pollution prevention group who is interested in possibly partnering with us and doing a joint meeting. So look for more information there as it comes along and progresses. If you are a state that wants to host the annual training, we would love to have you let us know that, and we can talk to you more about what's involved. But if you're interested to know what kind of topics we had last time, here's where you're going to find those topics. Some of them are linked here. Just to let you know, at the bottom of each page, and certainly the bottom of the home page, we have a link to our X account, used to be Twitter. We have our YouTube site, and I skipped over the fun facts there, but we have over 130 videos on our YouTube channel. And in the past 4 years, the views to our YouTube channel have gone up from about an average of 400 per quarter to recently an average of 2,100 per quarter. So all these trainings that we record, all that the items at the technical subcommittee, education, promotion, the things that we are able to record, we put on the YouTube channel, and they are very popular inside and outside of our community. So we know that people are looking at those. So with that, it's 11:34, and I want to just pause to look for any questions, and I also will stop the recording right now.